Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Animac here from Anime Uproar. Welcome to another episode of the Naruto Virgin podcast. Joining me, as usual, my boys, Gozen, who is my brother.
What's up?
Nux, who is also my brother from another mother.
Nux and Briggs.
And, of course, Briggs, who is everyone's brother.
Nux and Briggs.
What are you going to say for me at this point?
You're a brother to all of us, a big brother. You know, the Chad of Chad.
What the bro? That's the bro I've been saying.
Isn't he the youngest?
Bro, age is not about, like, age, bro. It's about, like, energy.
It's about how Chadly you are, bro. That's the mark.
Briggs says big brother energy. That's all it is.
I mean, it's kind of true. When I used to go to the gym, like, I'd have people that were, like, older than me, and I'd still be, like, showing them the ways.
Of course, at the gym. Like, what a freaking... Bro, you're such
bro,
a...
I'm the protege, bro.
You're such a stereotypical Chad. It's not even
hilarious.
funny. You're just like you're such a cliche Chad at this point, bro.
Yeah. So Naruto Virgin, that type.
Yeah. Today we'll be talking about chapters 152 to 161. The proper introduction of TSUNADE and some pretty crazy stuff going on. A lot of it was a training arc, but again, man, I have to say it's such a unique training arc because it leads up again to Orochimaru showing up and important stuff happening. So it's not just, okay, let's train. It's like training is just part of a bigger picture, even in this post crazy arc, like post the crazy stuff at the Konoha village. So, I mean, I really enjoyed it. Again, it was not that many chapters, but a lot of cool stuff happened. And I recognized a lot of stuff that you guys talked about before. Before I was into Naruto, I know you guys were like, Rasengan, bro. Rasengan, that's really cool stuff. And now it's been introduced.
It's
so
Rasengan, bro.
Yo, he pronounced it Rasengan and TSUNADE, okay?
TSUNADE, yeah.
It's TSUNADE, but okay, Rasengan with an A.
Rasengan, bro.
Rasengan with an A. Okay, cool.
Rasengan, bro.
Rasengan. Rasengan.
Yeah, exactly. That was really good.
Yeah, if you yell it, it's better.
True,
Sam, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs.
Yelling is always better.
Awesome. Yeah, so we learned some stuff right away at the beginning. We learned that Sasuke is still unconscious.
Oh my god. I know it's on purpose, but
I'm just properly pronouncing Sasuke.
Yeah,
and he's still unconscious, which is super sage. Super sage. And then we have Orochimaru and Kabuto going to the city of Tanzaku to locate TSUNADE.
And Orochimaru is in pain right now because he can't use his hands, and his hands are like cursed and all that.
He's in pain because he's listening to Animac's pronunciation. That's why.
No, bro, like listen to me. I don't want to
exactly.
I don't want to culturally appropriate, so I want to properly pronounce it.
That's why he's so frustrated because he can't jerk off. Amazing.
Yeah, in the manga when you see his cover is all covered in blood, it wasn't blood. He just had a wet dream, boys.
No, but the thing about him is, I really am wondering, because we learn here he really wants to destroy Konoha village. That's his big thing. He wants to destroy the whole fucking village. So I wonder why he's so obsessed with destroying it. Is it just because they busted him for doing those forbidden research stuff and then kicked him out and he's like, I'll get you? Or if there's more to it, I wonder. Because, his goal isn't, I'm going to, be the king of the world or the king of the pirates or anything like that. It's just like, I want to destroy this specific place where I grew up.
His goal is to master every jutsu.
Yeah, his initial goal was to master every jutsu, and that's kind of why he got kicked out initially. And I think why he returned was he put a mark on Sasuke, and clearly he's like trying to get bodies to replace himself so he could be immortal and learn all the jutsus.
Yeah, and so basically, what we learned about TSUNADE is that she is this expert in healing, and I think that was kind of already mentioned, but she's an expert healer, even though it turns out she's afraid of blood, which I was like, what the fuck? How is she like the greatest medical ninja of all time and she's afraid of blood, at the sight of blood?
Yeah, that's classic, like Naruto.
I mean, humor. That was so funny. But
I mean, I wouldn't say that's classic Naruto. It's not like a gag. That it actually makes sense in the story once you read it.
Yeah, but
no, but it's funny. It's irony.
It is something you would find in like One Piece. Like,
right, that's the kind of thing you'd find in One Piece. But Naruto doesn't do that with comedy for the most part, unless it has like actual real world implications.
Yeah. And it was interesting because so you have Kabuto and Orochimaru going to find Tsunade in the city, and then Jiraiya and Naruto are also headed there to find her for a different reason because they want her to become the next Hokage. So it's all kind of coming together at this city, and also at the same time, Jiraiya is teaching Naruto how to do the Rasengan and all this other stuff, right? So the training arc is continuing.
I
The
must
training
say I
arc is
love
continuing.
this training arc because it broke down a jutsu. A lot of the times, like someone will be learning a jutsu, but you don't understand, or like a power in anime, but you don't understand like the elements involved, and it was really cool seeing it broken down into steps.
I agree with you. Very
Yeah, like-
very infrequently in anime is like a power up, like taught from master to student. It's like they unlock their inner shiz or whatever, but it's very infrequently this step process that we
If you
see in
compare it
Naruto.
to-
No, it's definitely been taught. Like techniques are taught in anime, but like for this one specifically, it makes you understand how the jutsu works and why it's so powerful. Like really
Yeah, they
breaking
took
it down to
time
such a
with it.
simple like level.
Yeah, I think if you compare it to Dragon Ball Z and like Dragon Ball Super, there's so much more thought goes into the techniques and how they work and how to get better at using them and how they, get power-ups.
They're not just energy blasts.
Yeah, I know for Nux, like he much prefers Dragon Ball to Naruto, but
Yeah, of course.
like for the rest of us, I think we all need to, really respect what
He
Naruto
prefers
does.
Dragon Ball Super over Naruto, confirmed. Early Naruto,
Dragon Ball
confirmed.
Super is my favorite anime of all time.
He actually gave Naruto only a 4 out of 10, whereas he gave Dragon Ball
No
Super.
way.
I actually gave Naruto a negative 4 out of 10.
What is Nux's real rating of Naruto?
I love how Gozen isn't like down with the lingo, where he just comes in and is like, what? Oh, way.
No way! What? It's crazy. My real rating, I'd say, original Naruto is 9 out of 10, and Shippuden is 8 out of 10.
I like that rating. Yeah.
But the thing about Tsunade that I really liked is she ends up being both strong and badass. Because at first we just see her as like this drunk gambler, but
With
who is
big
hot,
boobs.
who is a 50-year-old hot woman with big boobs. But it turns out that she's also like a badass. So when Orochimaru was like, I would make you an offer you can't refuse and shit, she's like, all right, well, I'm going to kill you now, bitch. But then he's like, hear me out. Because he knew that she might be able to like take him out in that situation. Like she is not to be underestimated. She was one of the 3 prodigies, right? So even though she kind of seems goofy when we meet her, we can't underestimate her abilities. And so Orochimaru says, if you heal my arms, I've learned all these forbidden jutsus, including a resurrection or reanimation jutsu. So if you heal my arms, I can bring back from the dead your 2 people that you love the most, your little brother and your lover, who both died during the ninja war that happened in the past.
Which is a pretty huge offer. Like,
Which is everything she wants.
of
Yes.
course.
Because both of them died protecting the village of Konoha. She was unable to save them, and that's kind of like her whole biggest regret in life, it seems. So he's really giving her like a Faustian bargain.
Bro,
Pretty
like
much.
you have to explain that, but okay.
I understand. It's good.
That's first grade there, Gozen.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But no, I think this is what led her down this spiral of like a degenerate
Gambling and
gambler.
drinking and
Yeah, because she clearly had more of a goal of helping others and improving the ninja community. But then after losing the 2 most important people in her life, her like purpose for being, all of a sudden, what's she gonna do? And then someone comes back to offer her what she lost. Like, holy fuck. That is
but
quite the
Golden,
offer.
here on this podcast, we don't say reason for being. We say raison d'être.
Yeah, okay, I followed that. I still want you to explain Faustian whatever after
So
the podcast.
Faust was an alchemist, a German alchemist in like the late 1400s, early 1500s. Who
known for creating chimeras.
he is known for making a deal with the devil, allegedly. Whereas he gave up his soul in order for worldly riches.
Really? Okay, so yeah. So it's just like a deal with the devil kind of thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he's referenced in many anime like Blue Exorcist and Black Clover and etc.
Nice. Interesting. You learn something new every day.
Yeah. Right. So Tsunade is clearly, despite being introduced as a very simple character, someone who's just a gambler and someone that's just a drunk, she's clearly a much more complicated individual underneath.
Yeah.
And we learn more about that as this arc progresses. And getting this Faustian bargain from Orochimaru, it's more than just her getting what she wants back. She knew Orochimaru her whole life. They were best friends growing up, Like, they were on the same squad. This was like a Sakura-Sasuke dynamic.
Yo, they were squad fam. They were the same squad fam.
They were the same squad fam. It's like if two people from Team 10 got together after a few years.
Yeah, I know.
What a comparison.
Well, I mean, they literally probably will be guilty of Orochimaru-esque crimes by that
True.
Definitely containing snakes, definitely.
And pedophilia.
Okay, Nox. Jeez.
Yeah, let's not make those accusations.
I'm not accusing anybody that hasn't been accused already.
Okay, so the thing I wanted to talk about is Tsunade's brother. Because he looks so much like Naruto, and he also acts like him, too. So this is when Tsunade's like, Jiraiya offers her the position of 5th Hokage, which is, again, it's like, he's offering her this, but she seems so crazy at first. So I want to learn more about that, the reasoning. But she says no. She's like, why would I want to be the Hokage? It's like a bad deal. They just end up dying in battle, all of them. Like, what's the point? It's just a joke. And Naruto gets so mad because his whole goal in life is to become the Hokage. Like, that's
his raison d'etre, bro. You gotta say.
Yeah, so he gets super angry at this, and he basically challenges Tsunade to a fight. And he does the complete anti-Zoro because he's like, I don't care if you're a woman, I'll slug you. I don't give a shit.
That's
Sanji.
Anti-Sanji.
Anti-Zoro?
Oh, yeah, Sanji.
Oh, the One Piece version strikes
This man
again.
just mixed up Sanji and Zoro.
Yeah.
I think
Anti-Sanji,
after we
that's what I
finish Naruto, we should restart One Piece.
meant. Let's go. Yeah, so the anti-Sanji where he's like, I don't care if you're a woman, I'll slug you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah,
Equality.
bro. I don't know if I agree, but...
And Tsunade, of course, being the rather petty individual that she is, says, okay, and I'll defeat you with one finger.
Yes! And then she kicks his ass with one finger. She like flicks him in the face like, no! That was hilarious. But a good way to show that, yeah, Naruto, you as strong as you are, you can't fuck with someone like this
And
yet.
we were talking about this like last podcast, how there's still like a lot of people in the world stronger than Naruto. And wow, what a example of that. Where straight up, like one finger ruins his like strongest attack. It was
Like
amazing.
she would he would stab at her with a kunai, and she would grab the kunai from that little circle. Like
Yes.
That was
No,
so
yeah, she just
sick.
like outclassed him completely.
Oh man, that was amazing. But you gotta respect Naruto like getting
And don't
right
forget-
back up.
Don't forget she
And
was
Naruto
completely drunk.
tries to use the Rasengan on her also at the end there. How did that go, anime?
By the way, she was completely drunk at this point too, and she still crushed him.
Yes.
And yeah, so he
drunken
tries
makes
to
you stronger in Naruto.
he
No,
tries
only
to
one character.
he tries to use the Rasengan against her because he's just learning it, and she is impressed that he's able to even do that much. And she recognizes it as the 4th Hokage's technique, but she deals with it quite easily because obviously Naruto is not able to. Yeah, it's incomplete. He's not able to perfect it yet.
Even if it was complete, do you think it would land on Tsunade? Let's be real.
No, she would have still hit the finger down.
But
Like,
it
I
is
think-
enough. It is enough to impress her.
Yeah. I think
So-
she hit his hand down, which led to the attack hitting the ground.
Mm.
So it would
Yeah,
have been
but
either
Tsunade
way.
didn't just recognize it as the 4th Hokage's technique. Technically, if I remember correctly, Tsunade said to Jiraiya, "You're teaching him the 4th Hokage's technique? This punk kid?"
I think
like,
there was those
incredulous.
vibes happening, yeah. And she's like, only you and the 4th Hokage are capable of that. She's
Like,
pretty
a
much
jutsu that only 2 people were able to master, and you're teaching it to this kid.
Yeah. So
I'm always
it was
surprised that
interesting.
like people like can't put 2 and 2 together. Like,
Hey,
that-
shut up, Briggs!
No, so the thing is,
Don't
Adam back
say
knows.
it.
to me, when
No,
I
he
first
doesn't.
he just speculated.
Oh.
when we saw her brother Nawaki, and the whole flashback there, I was like, yo, is this Naruto's dad when he was a kid? Because they look so much alike.
You mean as
And
opposed to
then
Naruto's dad when he's an adult? Okay, I
What?
get you. You said, is this his dad when he's a kid?
Yeah, because we only see Nawaki as a kid, right? So I was like,
What the
okay, so
hell?
does this guy grow up to be Naruto's dad? But
Oh.
then they make it seem like he died when he was like 12.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so that would make it complicated.
We're good gamers.
Naoki is
No,
Naruto's
so I thought
father.
that Nawaki would turn out to be the fourth Hokage and
Oh.
Naruto's dad, and then
Yeah, sure.
Tsunade would turn out to be his aunt, and then
No,
his
it's made pretty clear that Naoki dies by the fact that Naoki died, and also
I
that
know, I
Orochimaru wanted
understand.
to resurrect him and stuff.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, while I was reading it, I was thinking that because he looks so much like Naruto, and we know Naruto's dad is dead, right? But I didn't realize he died at age like 12 until they showed it in the thing. But when I was reading, I was like, yo, this would make Naruto then the great grandson of the first Hokage. So there's the bloodline stuff. But yeah, I guess Naoki died.
And then there's that necklace shit, which is
Yes,
kind of
I
weird.
really like that.
Yeah,
I
so the necklace- what happened was-
I think it's
Tsunade-
weird because it's like a
Tsunade did-
cursed necklace almost.
Hold on. Tsunade, what she does is she says to Naruto, she makes a deal with him. If in a week you can master this jutsu, which is like an impossible task, I'll give you this necklace that belonged to the first Hokage, and you know, it's like this big symbolism. I'll acknowledge your dream. But if you lose, then what was the if you lose?
You give me your money, pretty much.
Oh yeah. You give me your money, and I'm just not my money. So like on that end, it's not a big deal. But as we see, as the thing moves on, and like we end, so this section of the manga ends on Tsunade apparently drugging Jiraiya. So the implication is, because Orochimaru's deal requires 2 bodies to be sacrificed to resurrect the other 2 guys, the implication is that she intends to sacrifice Jiraiya and Naruto in order to resurrect her brother and lover. And so she's like waiting for a week because that's the time that Orochimaru gave when he's going to be back. And then she's going to like drug them and use their bodies as sacrifices. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think she's a bad guy. But that seems to be what they want us to believe at this point.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, and she definitely has all the motive in the world. But why would it have to be Naruto and Jiraiya? That's my only question.
Well,
They're there.
yeah, they're there, and I don't know if they have
And
to
I'm
be
sure that would be a very
certain power
easy
level.
task, right? To take
She'd
out
have to
Jiraiya.
be cold-blooded as fuck to take out Jiraiya.
like-
Well, that's the thing, right? Like that's
Well,
the
one
thing.
thing I do have to say about Jiraiya, who I love dearly, he's a beautiful man. The lad, you gotta give a hand to his absolute genius. Okay, this dude, I think personally, planned everything out like to a T. I think he brought Naruto to trigger the Naoki flashbacks because Naruto's so similar to him. And I think Jiraiya knew that the only way to like make Tsunade potentially realize and grow out of the predicament she's in is through someone like Naruto.
Yeah,
So
and they look so much alike that I was like, I didn't think it would be a coincidence because there's such a resemblance. Obviously in their behavior, but also just physically there was a resemblance.
They have similar energy, but I mean, if you watch the anime, like they have different hair color and shit.
and eye color, yeah, but I mean,
And like the guy is always like his face is always red for some reason. Cheeky.
Yeah, he's like blushing constantly.
Like Pikachu.
no, so yeah, it's an interesting thing because it's like, okay, so Orochimaru is offering to her the one thing she wants the most in the world. But,
Yes.
you know, the price is steep because he straight up told her, I'm going to destroy Konoha village, which is something she doesn't want to happen because her lover and brother literally died protecting this village that he wants to destroy. So even if they were brought back to life, they would not want, you know, Konoha to be
Yeah,
destroyed.
that's a good point. Like it would literally be either them being forced not to, and then they wouldn't be themselves, or they would like re-die to protect the village, kind of.
And the other thing, I also suspect that this reanimation is not like all it's cracked up to be. Like, I'm guessing they're gonna be like more like, even if they were brought back, they'd be more like zombies than actually how they were before.
Yeah,
and
like
I
you're
don't
still
think
dealing with
Tsunade would be
corpses,
naive
like-
enough to like believe Orochimaru or trust Orochimaru at all. Honestly,
Well,
Trust me, bro.
clearly she's sort of naive enough to, she's meeting up with him. I don't know exactly. Where did we end?
Okay, we ended when she's seemingly drugs Jiraiya.
Yeah.
So you guessed that because she was like looking evil at him drinking it?
No, she poured something.
No,
in his
she
drink.
drugs Jiraiya. Like that happens. It's
Yeah,
not
okay,
like
that happened.
Animax not making it up.
Yeah, she put something in his drink, and the implication is she's gonna knock him out and have him sacrificed. But I obviously don't think that's
Bro,
what's
she
going on.
obviously put an aphrodisiac in his drink.
Oh shit! You're telling me our boy Jiraiya needs an aphrodisiac, though? Come on, he'd smash. He even said he asked her out before, and she said no.
Yeah, but now she's a 50-year-old woman. Not that it matters if she looks like, 30s.
She don't look a day over 47 and a half.
Yeah, I don't. Nothing wrong with that, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, can we talk about why Orochimaru destroyed that ancient castle? Like, why, bro?
Why I destroyed what?
He destroyed like an ancient castle in that city for no reason with his big snake.
I love the fact that that's what you focus on.
His
Honestly,
big snake is out of
Orochimaru
control.
might not even be such a good dude.
No, well, not only is it just like, oh, you're destroying like this precious historical monument, you're also attracting so much attention to yourself for no reason. Like, aren't you supposed to be incognito now that your like arms are freaking like?
Bro, I'm
And
starting to
hurt.
think that Orochimaru might not be a good guy.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
He's kind of a dick, guys. I don't know.
It's crazy. After that time that he tried to wipe out an entire village and assassinated the leader of a different village to trick them into fighting another village, and also murdered an old man that was a really nice dude.
His teacher.
And he's a pedophile. Aside from all that stuff,
Okay,
Is he
I
cool
disagree
with
with him so far. Nothing indicates that he's a pedo in any way. He
all right,
just
so
wants
why did he give Sasuke the curse mark?
because he wants his body as a vessel.
He wants
not
his
in a
body.
Weird way.
He
It's
wants
just
as
to.
a
Oh,
vessel.
It's
he's not
like
in a weird way.
vampire stuff.
He just wants to be inside of him.
Yeah,
Right.
but like literally though.
Like
Yeah,
like his
literally.
spirit, bro, not like
No.
sexually.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will
knows?
not hear this slander of Orochimaru, who is a good dude.
He's slimy, bro.
I
snake.
can't get over like
Snakes aren't slimy. They're
You can't
reptiles.
destroy
Reptiles aren't
historical-
slimy.
historical
Bro,
heritage.
in anime, every time like a snake gets cut, it like gets all like slimy and grows back its limbs and shit.
That's not true.
It's like every time.
Yo, Animac, didn't you ever wonder, like, how did Orochimaru even summon Big Snake Guy, also known as Manda? How did he summon him? He doesn't
He
have
has
arms.
no hands.
That's a
How
good.
did that
That's the
happen?
thing. So it must have been Kabuto then, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Wait, if it was Kabuto, then Kabuto's no slouch.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
he's not.
Naruto's
We've definitely
not.
already learned that. He fought against Kakashi and the rest of the Anbu guys, right?
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
and he
just
pretended
trying
like
to
he had like a
further
body,
explain.
pretended to be him, and all this stuff. Yeah, like this guy who allegedly can't pass the Chunin exams. Like, yeah, that guy is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
like-
game's pretty tough.
No, he
He's
can.
up to
He
some
can.
I'm just
shit.
kidding,
No,
I'm
of
just
course he
kidding.
can. Yeah. The thing, it was funny because we had a scene after that big meeting, kind of towards the end of this part of the story that we were looking at. Orochimaru tells Kabuto that even if Tsunade refuses after a week his deal, he will force her to swallow his terms.
I
so
didn't even
you're-
notice that. That's
so you're
hilarious.
saying he's a rapist too?
He said,
Can't
"I
wait.
will
For,
force.
I cannot
I will
wait for his
force her."
redemption arc.
And this is a direct quote from Viz. I will force her to swallow our terms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, it's perfect for him, his character.
And then you
to say
see him
that.
summoning a snake in the background.
Yeah, just flopping his snake around, bro. He's just flopping his snake around.
Dude, he has a big snake.
And
bro.
it's not to drain it.
Yeah, I know that would be like wholesome, but he's not wholesome.
No.
Did we mention the
not
fact
wholesome.
that Tsunade was the one that like made it so that squads would have a healer?
Oh yeah, no, we didn't. So basically, after her brother died, right?
It was
he died
definitely
first.
influenced. So Orochimaru mentions that it was influenced by the war, and a lot of the times it takes losing people in order to like figure out what to do next or whatever, or to propose a new strategy. So and that's when we've later learned out that Tsunade was the one that proposed this, and the fact that he's leveraging the fact that she lost her brother and her lover in the war, right?
Yeah. So
pretty
what happened
messed
was after her brother died, she proposed that every team should have a medical specialist with them, because I guess the initial thought was you just want fighters to fight, but she was saying no, you need someone to prevent deaths by being like a healer, available at all times.
I wonder if there were cases, I can't remember. I wonder if it was like a situation where they could have been saved if they had a healer, right?
I'm sure there were.
Yeah, there probably were many of them. Yeah.
No, I meant like the brother and the lover. I wonder if that was the case.
Oh, so with the lover, no, because she was there.
But I'm guessing with the kid, it could have been different.
Sure.
With the lover, what happened was she was there, but he was so severely injured, like his entire kidney was destroyed, and she couldn't regrow an entire organ, so she failed to save him.
Yeah, I felt bad, man. Like, he didn't accept his death. He was like, "No, I can't die yet," and she just had to watch that and be like, "Yeah, no, I'm healing you, and you're gonna be okay." And she was like lying to him. That shit was hard to watch.
Yeah, and she even because he wanted to be the Hokage too and protect the village, right? So that was also his dream. So, and he didn't fulfill his dream. So, I mean, you can definitely understand why Tsunade feels this Hokage thing is almost like a curse, because not only do most of the Hokage end up dying in the line of duty, but even people who in her life who wanted to be that and there was their main goal couldn't even achieve the goal. They end up dead beforehand. So
she needs to stop giving that necklace to people, bro. Like,
yeah, she's like, bro, I'll give you this necklace, dog. He's like, cool.
10 days later, found dead with necklace on neck.
No, but I did like this part. Like I said, we had the training arc, which is necessary because you can't just have Naruto getting extremely strong without reasoning for it. And I think Jiraiya has been a great teacher for him. He made him think independently and do all this other stuff until he figures it out on his own. But he's also prodding him in his own unique way.
No, he would never prod a student. Animac.
He would never prod a male student.
Anyways, the point is that so we had this cool training arc with Naruto clearly making progress, but it's all going towards a higher plot goal, which is this whole Orochimaru Tsunade deal. Will it happen? Won't it happen? It definitely won't. But we're supposed to be speculating. So yeah, I like it. And I guess Tsunade, there was another girl with Tsunade that I didn't care to remember her name, but
Shizune.
Okay.
Yes.
She's like someone who is a character foil for Tsunade.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll ever be relevant.
She's like,
but so far...
I mean, she's basically like Kabuto is to Orochimaru is like her to Tsunade.
Yeah, she was kind of just like good for explaining the backstory of Tsunade.
Yeah, it's nice to have Naruto. Like an assistant kind of thing that's also a friend, And that's kind of her role.
That's a friend.
Yeah, like you get along with. Like I just watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and she's like Brad Pitt to her Leonardo DiCaprio.
Whatever you just said.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. I don't get the reference.
It's a good movie, man. It's a good, but yeah, it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It was a fantastic movie.
Yeah, it's
What's
a great
movie.
I haven't seen it yet because I don't watch like movies anymore, bro.
Cringe.
I only watch
during the training arc. I was cringing.
Anime.
I was cringing so hard at like how slow Naruto was, but it was also so funny. Like Jiraiya had to spell it out so hard. He draws like a dot on his hand. What does this mean? Like, and then he explains with the piece of paper. Like, if you're looking at the piece of paper initially, you look at the entire thing. But once I put the dot here, you focus on the dot. And then he's like, okay,
that was good. What's wrong?
And then Naruto's
good.
like,
I like that.
What does that mean? And then he's like, well, if you focus, you focus your chakra. So how do I do that? Like, shut the.
It was I feel like it either makes us feel smarter,
that was totally fine.
Like comparison, or for slower people, it helps them actually figure out what's happening.
I agree with Nox. I thought it was totally fine, and
I thought it was funny. It was just cringe.
It helps Naruto because he is
cringe.
So. No, it wasn't because Naruto is so wild and all over the place. That's his character. So he needs to learn to focus, to concentrate.
Dude, he's got to be smarter than that, man.
No, but he wants to.
No,
he wants
I don't know why. Why would you assume that when you look at Meika Rasengan, you don't focus on the whole hand? You focus on one point.
But I'm just saying, Jiraiya fucking spelt it out for him 4 times. It was funny. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't think it was necessarily funny or spelled out.
It was 100% supposed to be a gag.
That Naruto I don't think it was a gag either.
It was 1,000% a gag.
Briggs,
the reason hasn't read it and
Briggs, the reason
that's not a good excuse.
I'm just saying it's go back and read it. It was 1,000% a gag.
I do think it was supposed to be a bit funny.
It was 100% supposed to be funny.
But the thing about
it could be funny without being a gag.
No, but I don't think it's just that easy to, learn to focus your chakra in that way. I think it was a new way that Naruto was learning, both in terms of his personality, he needs to focus more, but I think just physically learning to focus your chakra will take a little bit more, like into such a fine point. So I don't think it was just like, oh, just learn to focus, dumbass. I think it was like you need to actually practice to do it. It's not just doesn't just happen with a kind of like flip
Yeah,
of
but
your
he
finger.
didn't even understand the concept that he should focus his chakra.
I don't know. I thought it was fine. And also Naruto's like
Probably.
15, bro. It's not. He's
No,
not.
No,
Like,
he's not
he's-
15. He's like
he's 12.
13.
Or
yeah, whatever. So
12,
yeah, he's a
13.
kid. He's not like, fully functioning adult.
Yeah, and he has ADHD. Like
He's
obviously.
not even
Fair
a fully
enough.
functioning kid. Dude's missing a few screws, Yeah, but anyway, so I don't really want to say anything that might necessarily spoil next week's read through, but I think that this arc does a great job when it comes to a training arc and when it comes to kind of showing the dynamic between the Sannin. Because I think that legacy is really important to Naruto. And this was a trio that's meant to, in some ways, be a mirror of the Naruto Sasuke Sakura trio. And it shows you that dynamic and the paths that they've branched out to this point. So I think it does do a good job because this is the first arc where all three of them are interacting with each other.
So Sannin, is that supposed to be like the
The
three
legendary
prodigies or whatever?
three, Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
the-
they use that in the Viz translation. I don't think they use that word. That's why I ask.
It's good for this whole arc was great for building up Tsunade as like a badass.
Right, but what I was gonna say is Tsunade is a fantastic character. And I didn't recognize that when I was like watching Naruto the first time when I was younger. It was only like on rewatch that I was actually like, you know what? God damn, Tsunade is actually great.
Yeah, people sometimes hate on like the way he does female characters, but I think Tsunade is great.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that too, and I assume when you guys say Tsunade, you mean it, Tsunade.
I meant what it said.
Okay, and guys, if you don't like my being a stickler for pronunciation, you can leave a comment on Spotify.
You can't leave
Nice.
comments on Spotify.
Oh,
And
there's no
a
comment to
five-star
Spotify. Oh shit!
Good one.
Anyway,
Good one,
Oh,
Dynamite.
I get it.
I thought that she's so far she seems like a badass, strong.
Right.
Quirky,
It's not just
definitely-
that she's a badass. She's badass and strong and quirky and all of that. But she is a product of the ninja world and a product of war. Like,
Yeah.
you very infrequently see a character really flawed and grappling with their flaws. And Tsunade is an amazing example of that.
Exactly. So she does seem to have depth. She is a cool, interesting character with interesting quirks. She's not just, there as a support character or whatever. So yeah, I am looking forward to learning more about her. I wouldn't compare her to Sakura.
Yeah, in a good way.
I didn't mean to compare them as far as characters go. I just mean I wouldn't compare Naruto to Jiraiya. Jiraiya is like my third favorite character in all of Naruto, and Naruto's not in my top 20.
So is it right after? Is it right after Itachi and
Yeah, it's for me.
Katakuri?
It's no Itachi, Kakashi, and then Jiraiya. Those are my top three.
Those are three excellent characters.
I thought you would throw in Katakuri because you love him so much for some
I
reason.
do love Katakuri, but he's
He
not in
transcends.
Naruto.
What about Cracker?
He'll show. I'm sure he'll show up in Boruto at some point. Like,
Yeah. So Briggs, do you know what chapters we're doing next week?
We're going to the end of this arc, chapters 162 to 171.
Nice. Another 10 chapters.
Yep.
Sexy. I like that.
We'll finish off the arc, and I must say, for a training arc, like, it's not really a training arc. I love how fast-paced early Naruto is. Even
Yeah,
the training
so-
arcs there's just so much more to it, and it's transitioning into a battle.
Yeah. So the cool thing is that it's a training arc, but they're doing it along the way as they're clearly moving towards a bigger plot point, which is the whole showdown between the three prodigies or the three Sannin. So yeah, I like that. It's training clearly, but it's just part of the arc. It's not the whole thing is just training or like a training tournament or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
true.
Anything else that we need to talk about?
There
for
was
this
the
week?
moment I wanted to bring up where Jiraiya straight up like is his usual calm, chill self, but then he's like, "Yeah, if you ever do anything," then he was talking to Tsunade. He's like, "If you ever do anything to hurt Konoha, I will hunt you down and I will kill you." And his face at that point was just so powerful because he's
Yeah,
usually such
so-
a chill dude.
Yeah, that's a good point because he did have some doubts as to whether she would accept his deal, because he could sense that he offered her something. And you would think that he knows her well enough to know, okay, well, she wouldn't do that, but he had his doubts. So that speaks to me in terms of how much she misses these two, people that were taken away from her, because even Jiraiya,
but as far as his
considers that
doubts
she
go,
might be considering it.
he hasn't like met her in a while. He doesn't know how far gone she is at this point. How
Exactly.
did she succumb to her sorrows completely?
And to what extent will her love influence her behavior for those two?
Yeah.
Like, she's not necessarily a bad person. It's insane how big her love is for those two people.
Yeah.
And I love that. I don't know if this happened. So as far as the training goes, I think the training was really good. Just like when it comes to even talking about the world in general, like at first he gives Naruto a water balloon to pop, right?
Yeah.
Anime?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So first he gave him a water balloon to pop, and he couldn't do it. Like, he was like, with his chakra, he was stirring around the water in the water balloon. And you'd see the water balloon like moving, but it wouldn't actually puncture it until eventually, like, it would puncture it and water would leak out and do nothing. And then he realized it couldn't just turn it in one direction. He needed to turn the water inside in multiple directions at the same time. And that gave it enough strength to pop. And he felt so accomplished. And then stage 2 was, he said, okay, do the same thing, but do this with this rubber ball. Now, the rubber ball only had air inside, not water. So it's much harder to like actually use it to tear apart the outside vessel. And
plus,
that was even
the rubber
more
was like
complicated.
100 times tougher than like the plastic balloon, right?
Right, exactly. And like you saw how the jutsu is developed and how he, learned how to, actually use it.
And the second phase teaches you how to, you need to exercise a significant amount of power to blow it up, right? And then the third phase comes along, and it's
wait, I'm still
okay,
in the second phase for just a second. I'll let you say the third phase. But the second phase, my favorite scene is this one scene where the absolute legend Naruto is like, you know what, Jiraiya, no one can do this. It's impossible. Even Jiraiya probably can't do this. He's doing this to play a trick on me. He's like all cocky. So first, he throws the ball at Jiraiya, and Jiraiya turns around like half upside down and catches it between his teeth. And with like a goofy face, he says, Jiraiya! You remember that?
Yes.
That was not in the manga, I don't think.
Oh, no, in the manga, he absolutely catches it with his teeth.
I
think it may have been in a different moment where, like, Naruto wanted Jiraiya to stick around, and he's like, why don't you play catch with me? And he throws it, and then Jiraiya, like, catches it with his mouth. It was a different moment.
Right, and he yells, Jiraiya! That scene was so funny. Holy crap.
Yeah, almost as funny as Naruto not knowing how to focus his chakra.
I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with how much thought is put into these jutsus and like the whole power system. It really is impressive. And then obviously the training is all part of that. And as Naruto trains, we're learning more about the jutsus, about the power system. And yeah, I feel like a lot of thought.
How do you like it compared to One Piece?
I mean, One Piece has a different thing where, there's all these different devil fruits.
Well, in One Piece, there's no training arcs, to be fair.
Yeah. Not in the
and people are gonna be like, no, there was this right. There wasn't really a training arc.
The real training arc happened at the time skip, and it didn't.
Right.
They didn't show it to us really.
Yeah, when we have like Rayleigh showing him how to do all the different hockey stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, and Zoro with Mihawk.
Very little training arcs.
Yeah, and then and like when Naruto gave Jiraiya the rubber ball, Jiraiya just pops it instantly, like it just blows up in his hand. Like, that's not even close to actually doing a Rasengan. Which I thought was cool. And then the third step was doing it without anything.
It was a normal balloon, right? And it was like, okay, now you got to learn what you got to do. What you did in the first step, like do your chakra in all different directions, right? And then do what you did in the second step.
Popping the balloon.
And with the second step, and use a large amount of force. You got to use the same amount of force, but now don't pop the balloon.
Which is so cool!
Because the other ones were so focused on
it's
just destroying the thing, and now it's like, contain it.
Yeah, he has to learn to control it, not just, wild out with it.
And then Jiraiya shows the difference between, like, the second phase and the third phase on the tree, and the first one kind of just like sporadically like
Like-
messes up the bark and like it's a spiral,
Right.
and then the third one destroys it.
Yes, and then by the end of this arc, we see that Naruto has been destroying the trees. Remember?
Yeah.
Or by the end of the section that we covered.
Mhm.
Those
And-
poor trees, man.
Yeah, so Naruto's like all tired. He's lying on the ground, passed out. He was training all night, and then I think it was actually Tsunade that discovers him and sees that he's making progress, and she sees that he's like destroying these trees, right?
And that he's working hard.
Yeah, yeah. So as much as she, he's annoying, she respects him a lot, and she sees potential in him, even though she
She's-
doesn't say it to his face.
He's exactly like the people that she loved the most, right? Like what bothers her is that she fears first of all, he reminds her of them and that they died, and she fears that he might die as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's like, why are you obsessed with this fool's errand of becoming the Hokage when it's almost like a death sentence?
Yeah, like you can tell why Naruto was mad, bro. Like she literally, it's like in One Piece where in the beginning Kobe like insults Luffy's dream. Like it's that moment where if someone attacks your dream, you just see these shonen protagonists go crazy.
Oh, Chad is correcting me saying that Shizune was the one who saw Naruto's training.
Shizune, useful character confirmed.
Yes. I mean, yeah, Kobe is definitely Nux's favorite character because of that.
Yep, true story. True
It goes
story.
Kobe and then Katakuri.
Pretty much.
And then Cracker.
True. That's my order. Confirmed.
Yeah, but like I said, this was quite enjoyable. Obviously not as intense as the previous arcs, but that's okay because it's still really interesting and does the job of building the world. Like we learned about new cities and we learned about history and that whole ninja war stuff. And we learned about the power system a bit more, about Tsunade's life and how she fits into the whole thing. So yeah, liking it a lot and looking
I think
forward
it taught us a thing or two about how the drive that ninjas have. Like, everyone's obviously, you know how Naruto's always saying, "That's my ninja way," or whatever it says in the Viz translation. And like, it sounds cringe and stuff, but you are what you live by, kind of thing. You know?
Your principles.
Your principles are what shape you as a person.
No, I really like that
Yeah.
about Naruto. People can say he's stupid or whatever, but like the dude is a visionary. He lives by his own like code of morals.
True.
And other
And-
famous characters do the same thing.
Yeah, well, and I think Tsunade is also a very complex, well-written character, even though she gets a lot of crap. But I
Well,
think
we'll
she's
see
pretty-
how how she turns out. But so far, I'm definitely liking her. Fun fact: they're expecting 10 to 15 centimeters of snow overnight here in Ontario.
story.
And
Very
it is
fun.
April 20th.
Which is
What the
hilarious
hell?
because it was like so hot yesterday. And, like,
Yeah, here it goes
Oh,
from like 20 degrees Celsius to snowing. So yeah, fun times. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me. We're back again next week, and then after that, you guys want to do a One Piece version?
Well, there's darn
Sure, yeah,
a lot
after
of
we
chat.
finish the arc, we'll do a One Piece version. I'm down. Whether or not
Alright.
it's covering chapters or just having recon / hiding on.
Well, we'll have either 3 or 4, I think, chapters
cool.
at least.
Cool.
and they are epic chapters.
Sounds good. Okay, guys, thank you again. Join us, follow us everywhere. Follow the Rank of Anime podcast on Spotify. Follow Naruto Virgin, Rank of Favorite, One Piece Virgin, and all that good stuff.
Hey.
And until next time, see you, Space Cowboys.
Bang!